This is Stevie A here doing my next video in my series on my favorite tools, and the tool up here is an impact driver. The job of this tool is basically to drive screws. What makes this tool great is it drives screws really fast and with a little effort. So I'm going to kick this off with a demonstration. So I'll go over here to my vise, put this guy down. I got a bunch of screws here all ready to get driven into a 4x4. Just make sure that's nice and tight. Okay. All right. So first I'm going to drill one of these 4-inch kind of exterior screws with my Dewalt 20 volt drill driver. This is your standard, if you do kind of work on the house, this is your standard thing you use for drilling holes and things of that sort. And we'll give it a go on one of these screws. Okay. Got to push in a little bit. Okay, so you can see I had to put a little effort into it. The Phillips bit jumped out a bunch of times. So this driver, this is a great tool, but it's not as good as I want for putting in large screws, particularly in decking, fencing, things of that sort, framing. So when I need a tool to put in screws real quick, I use my impact driver, and you'll see the difference. Okay, see how fast that was? Heck of a lot faster. There's a reason why that drives a lot faster. It not only has a lot more power. They both have brushless motors. They both use rotational force. This tool basically, in a simple way, has a little hammer in it, and it's spring-loaded, and whenever it feels resistance from a screw or a bolt, the hammer will impact the rotational force to give it a little more kick. So I'll bring this back over here and just kind of do a little more of an overview on it, some of the great things I love. I've used this, I built my entire deck outside with it. I've put up a lot of fencing with it. I've put up a lot of shelving. Basically, whenever I need to drive a screw in fast and I need to put in a lot of screws, this is the tool I reach for. So if you're a basic DIY guy just doing a few things around the house, you might not need one of these. You probably don't. But if you're doing a lot of outdoor construction or construction inside that requires driving a lot of screws and fast, I highly recommend this tool. This has become one of my favorites. It saves a lot of time, and it's also a heck of a lot of fun to use. And not only does it have a lot of force to it, it makes putting the screws in a lot easier. As you can see with my driver there, when I was putting in that screw, I'm obviously holding a phone, taking a video, so I can't put a lot of pressure on top of the tool. This pretty much alleviates that need. You just need to push into the screw a little bit, and it does all the work for you. So some features on this. This is a Milwaukee. This is actually a discontinued model. I've had this thing about 5-6 years. This is obviously battery powered. I generally like cordless tools because they last longer. For something like this, I definitely prefer a battery though. And it has a few different speeds. Like I had it on 4 for that screw. I'll switch it to 2. And you get a little bit of a slower drive here. And you get there. Okay, a little bit of a slower drive on that. I usually use the slower modes for pulling screws out. So this has a hex shank on it. So I could pull this out with one hand. This basically clips in, so there's no like spinning chuck. And that's because this thing uses a lot of torque. And if you had a chuck here that you were tightening and loosening, the bit could slip out. So so I went over these little exterior screws here. One of my really favorite features about this is you can put all sorts of different adapters into it. One is for your standard Simpson tie screws. You can kind of put a little hex adapter in there. I'll go over, and I got, these are big in decking and outdoor use. Let me see if I can get this on. There we go. Okay. Drive that screw real easy. Also, my really favorite adapter here is, this is a 3/8 inch socket adapter. So once you slap this guy in, you can basically put any 3/8 inch socket you want onto here. So, I mean, you can use this on cars, machineries, things of that sort. Just don't over torque things. I've used this to take a rusty lawnmower blade off my mower before, but also, and at the end of this video, it's gonna a demonstration of me driving in one of these 8-inch lag bolts. With a socket wrench, this would probably take you 10-15 minutes. With this thing, you'll see in the video, I think it takes me 10 seconds or less. But here I have a 3/8 one, and I'll kind of show you how it operates on these. This is a 3-inch long Simpson strong tie screw here. Works really good. Keep in mind that speed too. So let me upper up to 4. Get that back on. Really fast and really well. So that's an impact driver there. Drives screws really fast, gives you lots of torque and control. One thing I will note is use these. One of these is meant for construction wood. If you're building cabinets or furniture or things of that sort, you will probably destroy it with this. Actually, you will. So this is meant for like outside exterior work. Generally you want a good green piece of wood that hasn't dried out too, but if the wood's dry, you can still hit the centers and stuff without breaking the wood. And if it hasn't become obvious already, with this tool, you don't have to pre-drill. So this thing makes the hole and drives it in. So anyway, I'm gonna close that now. It's gonna go to a quick clip of me driving one of those screws into my deck there. Thank you for watching, and I hope this informed your purchasing decisions.